All right, so we finally have all of the information we need for the Switch 2, the launch day. We have the launch day lineup. We have the post-launch games that are going to be dropping. We have pricing, which is all over the shop. We have problems in America in regards to that pricing. It's going crazy. And I've taken a few days, honestly, since the Direct to really just process things. I wanted to put kind of a plan in place of how I'm going to cover this system. We're going to be going from those 2 to 3 videos per week to pretty much daily as this system gets back to launch. You know, we did that for the Switch 1. We'll be doing it for the Switch 2. But first of all, I figured, let's look at the positive. Let's look at the launch lineup. And I want to talk about really what is going to be in my basket on day one. So this is my personal tier list. Of course, please let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Subscribe if you do enjoy this content as well. I appreciate it. Going to be a lot more kind of on-camera content like this, pending me getting my green screen sorted again and my lighting sorted out, because this isn't the best, let's face it. But look, let's go into the games. I'm going to be playing pretty much all of these because I run a Switch channel. That's the nature of the beast. This said, I'm doing this list like it was me spending my own cash on day one, bankrupting myself for this damn system. That's how I'm going to look at this basically. S is like day one buy. A is you could swing me. B is I'll probably pick you up, but I'm going to be waiting a bit. C, I'm not interested. And D, yeah, what are you doing? Why are you on this system? It makes no sense. I don't think we're going to get too many games in that C and D tier, but the S tier I'm expecting to be pretty damn populated. And it's going to scare the crap out of me when I realize how drained my bank account is going to be after this launch. But let's kick off with the big one, Mario Kart World. Look, the controversy, the pricing. It's $80 in the US, $74.99 in the UK. It is insane if you ask me. I think they are way out of touch with that pricing in the current climate as it is. This said, it is a system seller. It is Mario Kart. And the one thing I will give this title is the last Mario Kart on Switch 1 went for the entire life cycle. It always had an online audience. It was always popular. They did a ton of DLC. I have no doubt it's going to be the same here. And I can tell you, I got easily $80 of value out of the last Mario Kart. So I think for that reason, for me, it is an S tier game. I don't think there's any question about that. It looks beautiful. The new functions look really fun. The Battle Royale mode looks awesome. Some of the special abilities, the transformations, and the visuals, that kind of 120 hertz is incredible. So yeah, it's got to go S tier for me. I am, as a side note though, kind of bypassing some of that pricing issue, because what I've done is I've picked up the bundle of the console and the game. It's been incredibly hard to get the system in the UK. I'm hoping it turns up day one, but I went in store physical. That was the only way I could secure it. Online, it was just within seconds. They said they were packing out loads of like stock for this launch, so scalpers wouldn't get it, but it seems like that hasn't, well, in the UK, that hasn't been the case so far anyway. All right, so Fortnite. I haven't played this game in about 4 years. It's not my thing, never has been. I played it on the Switch when it first launched. It was messy. It wasn't a good-looking version of the game. It didn't run particularly well, and online Battle Royale, you need performance to win, so it makes it really difficult. I think it is good. It still found its audience on the Switch, don't get me wrong, and I know people do enjoy it, even if it gets complaints from, let's say, the hardcore few. But I think this is really good for the series. I will be downloading it. I will be checking it out, definitely. I think that I need to see it for myself. I want to see what the comparison is to that first game. And something we're going to be doing on the channel a lot moving forward is comparing Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. We'll also be doing comparisons of things like the performance and the graphical modes that we're going to be seeing in these new releases. So yeah, I'm going to go A tier. I think for the audience, it's awesome. I think for some, it's going to be an S tier game, no question about it. For me, it's something I will check out probably in the following days after the launch. We'll see how we get on. But yeah, A tier. Be excited for it. It's free as well. So in the grand scheme of things, download it for free, don't like it, delete it. Perfect. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. This was one of my big requests. I released a video about 6 months ago saying, like, if I had 10 games I could play on the system, this is one of them. And thank you, CD Projekt Red, you delivered. This game looks incredible. If you haven't played it, I highly, highly suggest it. It had a horrible launch. I played it back at that launch, but on PS5. Wasn't that bad, honestly, compared to like PS4 bugs. Then I played it about a year and a half ago, the Ultimate Edition, or not the Ultimate Edition, but because of the DLC, Phantom Liberty. And then most recently, I actually finished it up maybe 3 weeks ago with the Ultimate Edition. I got it on PS5, and I'll be going back on Switch. The game is incredible. The storytelling is amazing. The world is immersive. All of the updates have made it just a banger of a release. Now it's the game it always promised to be. Night City is awesome. And from what I'm seeing on the Switch build, it looks really impressive. I played it on Steam Deck, and it was an absolute Well, no, that's strong. That's a strong word. It was far from perfect. Performance was ropey. Visually, it was ropey. It looks a hell of a lot better on the Switch, so I'm really excited for that. They're promising, I think performance mode is 40 FPS or targeting 40 FPS, which means it's going to drop in places. They always say that when it's going to drop, but I'm all in. Day one buy. I think that the game is potentially a system seller in my opinion. I think getting it on the go, it looks like it's the best version yet, and it's got two really important features. They're taking advantage of the mouse control, so that's new for this build. I really want to see what that's like. I still don't like the form factor of the Joy-Con for a mouse. And then also, they have gyro. And I've never been the biggest fan of gyro either, personally. But I am willing to try it with this game because it is clunky. At points, the first-person shooting, you know, it is, at the end of the day, at its heart, an RPG. So I think gyro is going to go a long way to actually making this one of the best ways to play this experience. So, yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. No question for me, S tier game. Now, if you told me at launch like how bad was this game, it was bloody rough. But now, yeah, honestly, I think it is a system seller, and I think very few people saw that coming for a Nintendo console. Bravely Default. Love this game. Loved it back in the day. Had the collector's edition, portable. It's an incredible RPG. It's been a long time since I played it. If I remember right, you're going around collecting crystals. I think it is a narrative. It's just not screaming to me like, come play me on your Switch 2. It feels like a game that could have easily been on Switch 1. I'm sure it's on both systems. I would have rather seen like Final Fantasy. I'm one of those people on day one where I want to test the power of this new system. I want to see what can this system do versus the system I had before. And Bravely Default, I know it's touted as just being a remaster, but it really does kind of look like just an upscale of what the game was before. There's a few new things, mini games, etc. I'm kind of tempted just to stick to the version I've got transparently, but I think, look, if you're an RPG fan, buy it. It's definitely, if you've never played it, especially buy it. If not, it's not going to change your mind, and it definitely will feel old school in comparison. That being said, about not looking the part, etc., and not testing out the new features, Ridge Racer is a game I can't wait for. I've been wanting this for a long time. Ridge Racer was awesome, and I grew up on this game. I'm hoping we see Ridge Racer 2 as well eventually. But for now, we're getting Ridge Racer. As long as they price this right, I'm expecting like 10 quid, $10, maybe 50. I think 15 would be pushing it, in my opinion. I think you're kind of like pushing away the audience at that point, and you're only going to get the hardcore few. But yeah, I'm going to go A tier. I'll definitely be playing it. Not a system seller, not a day one buy for me, but it's definitely something that there'll be an evening when I'm like, you know what, I need a few beers and I want to play something simple. And that will be the game I will go straight to the eShop, download and play, because it's going to be so much fun, especially when you got friends around, etc. I wonder if it's got online play. I'll have to look into that. That would make it even more appealing. So yeah, that would be good. Cool. GameCube. The GameCube free. Obviously, you have to have the memberships for this. I wanted to include it. We'll keep it quick. A heavy hitting lineup. Wind Waker, F-Zero, and Soul Calibur. All going to be performing in what I presume is be 60 FPS. They're going to be upscaled to 4K. Absolutely. I am there. Again, I don't think it's a system seller, and I don't think it's going to be day one for me, which I think might surprise some people. You're definitely going to have differences in opinion on this list than me, that's for sure. I want to hear them down below, but it's very cool. Looking forward to checking them out. I'll definitely be playing the new games first, and then I'll be kind of visiting all of this extra cool stuff that we've got around it. Fast Fusion. Fast RMX was a launch game on a Switch 1, and it was incredible. Sony hate Wipeout. They don't want to do anything with that game anymore. This studio, forgive me, I can't remember their name, basically said, okay, you don't want to do something with it? Hold my beer. And Fast RMX was incredible. And this one looks incredible too. Visually, it looks special. It's incredibly fast. It seems to be optimized in all of the right ways. That was the case with Fast RMX as well. I can't wait. I love racing games as well. I still wish we had analog triggers on the Switch too, which we don't appear to have. But I do have a little bit of hope in the fact GameCube is releasing a GameCube controller. GameCube had analog triggers. If you played on the Switch 1, you could actually use a GameCube controller in games like Trials to temper the acceleration. I'm hoping studios are kind of picking up on that here, because it would go a long way to getting games like, I think, Formula 1, etc. So yeah, Fast Fusion. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm between an S and an A. I'm going to go A with this one. I think that's fair. A. Street Fighter 6. Love Street Fighter. This game is awesome. Played it to death on the PlayStation 5, honestly. And typically for me, because of that reason, that would make it more of a, I don't really need it, I have access, etc. So it'd be a C tier game. That said, looks stunning. Pushing the hardware. There's 2 versions, one with all characters, one's without, which I know that will drop in price very quickly. But they're doing something that I really like with this game, and because of that, it's going to make me push it way up this list. And that is, they're including crossplay. Now, on the Switch 1, crossplay was always a it was rarely ever included. And what that meant was third-party games would have online, people would play them for like a week, and then boom, they're dead. No one's online anymore. Wait for the next big game to release. We'll circle around to that. Basically, the only games that guaranteed an audience were like Mario Kart, Fortnite, etc. You know, the online free-to-plays or the big heavy hitter kind of Nintendo IPs. This has crossplay with PlayStation 5 and all the other systems. To me, this is like the opportunity for the Switch audience to prove there is demand there, that we want to be playing against PS5 players, that we want that crossplay functionality, because it would honestly solve one of the biggest pain points for me of being a Switch player predominantly, is I want to be online, and that's why I'd occasionally turned on my PS5 2-3 years ago, because I needed to know there was going to be an audience there. For that reason, I'm throwing my cash at it. I'm going day one. I need crossplay in all games, and if this can show there's going to be demand, you know, if games like Mortal Kombat, etc., look at this and they're like, damn, it's still got an audience 6, 9, 12 months on because of crossplay, everyone's going to do it. And I want the racers to do it. I want all of the games to do it. So yeah, that's my argument for Street Fighter 6. Bit of a weird one, kind of putting my cash where my mouth is on this one, but I think we need it. We need to support it. So let's make it happen. All right, so Kunitsu Gami. This game is super interesting. I don't even know where to begin to explain it. I played the demo. I actually did some coverage on Game Corner Plays, which is like just a gameplay channel that I have. And I played the demo, and I actually picked it up on PlayStation 5 as well. It's really interesting. It's really hard to explain. Basically, there's a goddess, and this goddess is taking you through this world, and she is basically being pathed towards an exit. That exit is going to be guarded by demons. So you're setting up soldiers that you can control in real-time combat, and you must fight off these demons until she makes it to the gate, and essentially, probably getting this wrong a little bit, but she basically blesses it, opens it up, and you move forward. It's really cool. It's really fucking weird. I'll say that much, but it's really cool. It is basically a little bit strategy kind of path mapping. It's real-time combat, and then it is also tower defense. And it works really well. The trailer for the Switch version looks lovely as well. I've played it though, and I don't think I'm going to be picking it up immediately. I would like to do some coverage on the channel personally, but yeah, if I'm doing this video like it was my cash day one, would I be buying that game? And transparently, I wouldn't. I think eventually maybe. I'm seeing kind of B tier as like, you know, when a sale happens, when I can get a few quid off, whatever it may be. And that's kind of where it belongs for me. If you've never played it, I'm going to say that's probably an A tier game for the right audience. It's very niche. Find some footage on it, watch a review. I'll link my gameplay down below so you can kind of get the idea of it. There is nothing else in this lineup like that game. And I think that's really cool. I think it's going to give it a really good chance of success as well, because I think on PS5, it was so weird. It was so out there. It was already going into what is a massive library. This being day one, it's one of 24 games, or 21 if you don't include GameCube. So yeah, I think it's got a real good shot with this release strategy, and I hope it does find success. All right, Puyo Tetris 2. S. Sorry, I should add the S there, because this game's already on the Switch. And it doesn't push the hardware. It includes some new modes. I love Tetris. I would have rather had Tetris Effect, personally, on the system with updates and upgrades. And it's got like this weird narrative that's actually, I think, is quite good fun, honestly, the story mode. But am I going to buy it again on Switch 1? Would I recommend it to someone coming into the Switch 2? If you want a puzzle game, sure, because there is no other puzzle game, really, on this list. But for me, I'm not interested. And I can't believe I'm putting a Tetris game here, but C tier. I have it on the Switch. If you don't have it on the Switch, maybe consider it. It's going to be a cheap option. So, not a bad thing. But yeah, feels like a bit of a weird release to me. I also like, it might be a different story if they give us an upgrade path. Like if I can pay like 10 quid and get the upgrade, maybe the new modes are worth that 10 quid. But I'm not going to go out and buy a whole new physical version of the game. So yeah, it's C tier for me. I don't know. It's a weird release. So we'll see how it gets on, but I would have preferred like Puyo Tetris 3. I think that would have been the better angle to take here rather than simply building on 2, or maybe doing something like Overcooked where they took the first game, the second game, and then built on them as like an entire package and did like kind of like the ultimate collection almost. That then might have pulled me over the line. All right, so Guardians of Azuma. It's a Rune Factory. I really enjoy these games. Farming sims are something that I've kind of come around to over the last 2-3 years, let's call it. This one I like because it includes action as well. There's combat, there's dungeon crawling, all that good stuff. Visually, it looks beautiful. The first time I saw the trailer for this game, I did question how the hell is this ever going to run on Switch 1? And it's apparently coming to that system. And I think it launches like 7 days prior on the Switch 1. So if there's an upgrade path or a free upgrade, I'll just play there first. I'll definitely have a graphical comparison for this one out on the channel. This all said, though, it's not priority on my list right now. I'm excited for it. I do want to play it. I can definitely wait for it. I think it looks really impressive. As the series goes, it's by far the best looking one we've seen yet. And I really love the characters, the world design, all that good stuff. The farming is the farming, the building, etc. It all looks very similar to what we've seen in the past. A little bit more in depth, which I do appreciate. Rune Factory did this big push to 3D recently, and this is kind of, I think, leveling up now, which is great. But yeah, I'm going to be B. It's something that I will pick up, not in a rush. All right, so Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. And I've been going back and forwards on these ones. I have a membership, so I have the expansion pass, which means I get the upgrades for free, which is, in the grand scheme of things, fine. I think it's a little bit insulting that they're charging for an upgrade for the 2 Zelda games, which is a performance improvement and a crap app, which gives you basically GPS for... it's not crap, it's kind of strange, isn't it? GPS for the game, so you can find your way around. They are S-tier games, there's no question about that, and they're going to be going S-tier with me right here now. But the only reason for that is because I have expansion pass, so I get those upgrades for free. I actually think, though, it's an insult that they're charging us for performance, basically, and that's it. There's no, from what I understand, no new features, nothing except for the app, no new content. It's just literally a graphical upgrade and a performance upgrade. That's the sort of thing that should be free. If you want to pay me to pay for an upgrade path, then fair enough, but add in extra content. You shouldn't be charging me to play the game as it was always intended to be. This game was always intended to be 60 FPS. It's just the Switch couldn't handle it, so now the hardware is there to handle it. Why are you charging me for that? I don't know. Maybe you have a different opinion. Let me know in the comments, but it just seems weird to me. If I didn't have the expansion pass, I'd still be buying them transparently, even though we don't know the prices yet. If it's like 10 quid, I'm fine. If it's 20 quid, we're getting a little bit more like towards a B tier at this point, honestly. But I think if I was paying like 10 quid A tier, 20 quid B tier, basically every 10 quid you add on, drop it down a tier. I think is the way I'm looking. Civ 7. This is interesting. This came out a month and a half ago. Played it on the Switch. I need to drop a review for that. It's very rough around the edges in a few ways. Graphically, it's not impressive on the Switch. It runs and it does a decent enough job. It's playable. But as Civilization games go, it's not as good as 6. It's undercooked a little bit. Menus lack explanation. Gameplay lacks explanation. It's kind of tough to figure out at first. You have to stumble your way through it. As someone that's played Civ before as well, even I had that experience of stumbling my way through it, figuring it out, and then finally kind of it started to click. This is another one where I've got a question though. Does it have an upgrade path? Because you've just charged people like 60 quid or whatever for the release like a month and a half ago, and now you're releasing it again in June for the Switch 2. Either or, I'm not going to factor that into that. I just want to speak to the quality of the game. Some people may be coming in and probably didn't play Civ 7 on the Switch. That's fine. Civ 7, I want to play it because I want to check out the mouse control. This game is focusing on that mouse control, and visually, it looks like a hell of an upgrade from the trailer, honestly. If you look at gameplay footage of the Switch 1 release, it was like no detail, flat textures, all that good stuff. So yeah, this looks really impressive in my opinion. But the mouse control, this is kind of the big test game for me, for the mouse control, Civ 7. So it is going A tier. I think it's, for a strategy fan, it's the best option you've got on the system right now. So I think it'll be a good pickup. And yeah, Civ 7 should be interesting. I hope they offer an upgrade path. All right, Survivor Kids, or Survival Kids, I can't remember what it's called. What I do know, though, is it's D tier. The game looks awful, quite frankly. I'm not the target audience, let's face it, but I'm sorry. It just looks like cheap rubbish that's been ported across. Yeah, young adventurers, what I could get from the trailer, very Switch 1, very budget. Price will obviously play a part in this. I think if you've got young kids in the house, then absolutely introduce them to it, because I think it's cool. The one thing I do like is I think it's actually cool they're making survival games for kids. I think that pathway into what is historically an incredibly challenging genre, very cool, but I think it looks crap, frankly. It was by far the most underwhelming game in the presentation, and that's why it's going D for me. Why are you on this system? You could easily be on the Switch 1. I get it, you want to be on the new hardware, but it's just not. Yeah, no. Basically. All right, Hogwarts Legacy. Another game where I'm questioning, is there an upgrade path? However, it looks bloody lovely, the new trailer, compared to what I'm sure a lot of you have played it on the Switch 1. I'm curious to see if people are going to be willing to pay again. If there's no upgrade path, would you pay $60, $70, whatever, 50, 60 pounds to play the game again because they've upgraded the graphics? That's basically what this is. This is a massive graphical upgrade. You know, when you look at Zelda, 2 games there, the one thing I will say, it seems all they've done there is just upscaled it, and they've locked that frame rate out. This actually feels like a different build of the game. I presume this is like the PS5, Xbox Series XS build of the game that they've now ported to Switch, compared to what must have been PS4 downscaled prior. But so it feels like a lot more effort went into this. I would like to see an upgrade path. I will definitely be playing it again though. Just purely, yeah, I mean, actually no, that's a lie. I'm going B tier. I'm thinking about it from a channel perspective there. Like, I want to review it, I want to cover it, of course I do. But I think if it were spending my own cash, it wouldn't be too high on my list immediately, just because I've played it now twice. I played it on the PS5 and then I played it on the Switch. Do I need to play it again on the Switch too? Probably not really. I got the PS5 build installed, which is cheaper. It's still going to look better than the Switch build. Do I need it on the go? No. So that's my answer. Deltarune, can't wait. A tier, keeping it quick here. We got chapters 1 and 2 on the Switch 1. This is including chapters 3 and 4. Team from Undertale, don't care what it looks like. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be funny as hell. So I am playing it. First 2 chapters are really good. Looking forward to seeing that 3 and 4. Won't be a day one, but it will be very quickly following behind hand. Curious to see if anyone else is really excited for this. It's been a long time coming, in my opinion. So yeah, it's cool to see it day one launch. Yeah, Deltarune should be awesome. All right, so Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening, is it? I think it's an expanded edition of the game. I've never got into this series personally. I've played a little bit of it. It's like a management sim game. I'm not even going to try and explain it. It's incredibly in-depth. Someone like Jordan at Physical Paradise loves these games from what I can remember. He will be a very good source for information on a release like this. Not for me personally, so it's going in the C tier. And also as well, transparently, it is on the Switch 1. Because I haven't played it, it's really hard for me to say like how big is the graphical jump like Civ 7. I'm sure it's a similar ballpark. If you want a strategy game that's more about that management aspect though, and I believe, if I'm correct, yeah, I think it's actually quite a bit more in depth than Civ 7. That may be the way to go for me though. It's just not a game I'm looking for. Great for the audience, great for the fans, but yeah, not for me. Split Fiction. Fantastic game. In fact, I just finished playing it on the PS5, so it's just released. I think for most people, if you got the 2-player option, you can send the friend pass, all that good stuff. If you got the option, day one, it is phenomenal. It is hilarious. The gameplay is really creative. The opening moments and the closing moments are some, honestly, the best in gaming I've seen in like the last 5 years. They are incredible. The level design is just fantastic throughout. I've just played it though, so for me it is a B tier. I think for you, if you haven't played it, S tier it all the way. You won't regret it. It is just incredibly well done. The levels, the narrative is basically like they're trying to steal your ideas, and you're trying to escape these 2 women, and these 2 women have different backgrounds. One's a fantasy writer, one's a sci-fi writer, so you jump in between their 2 different kind of narrative concepts for the world design. You'll be transforming into pigs, you'll be riding motorcycles down the side of buildings. It is insane. It's also really long as well. It's like 15 to 20 hours, which is really good for a co-op experience. So yeah, can't recommend it enough. Really good game. Please check it out if you get the opportunity. Hitman. This is the Deluxe World Assassin Bundle, whatever the hell they want to call it. Hitman 1, 2, and 3, plus DLC for 2 and 3. Now, I reviewed Hitman 3 on the Switch one. Cloud game. It worked fine for me. I had really fast internet, transparently like what giga internet. But never perfect. Cloud gaming has a bad reputation, let's face it. I'm not a fan either. So it's great to see kind of IO Interactive stepping in and being like, look, this system's powerful enough. Here it is, playing natively on the hardware. Knock yourselves out. These games are phenomenal. Really, really good. I think I can't wait to take them on the go. What I love about these games is I've played probably Hitman 1, 2, and 3 at least a couple of times each. Hitman 3 I played like 4 times. Because they're like small sandbox locations, you can do it different every time. Even if I pick this game up on the Switch, I'll tackle it in completely a different way. I'll put it on a different difficulty. I'll do different contracts. There's all sorts of added goodies and bonuses that I haven't checked out in the last 6 to 12 months, if not longer, which are going to be included here. And for that reason, Hitman, welcome to S tier. Well deserved. Great to see. Cannot wait to play. All right, so welcome to the biggest insult of them all. This is shocking. It's a demo piece of software that shows you how the system works. Kind of explore it, ask questions of it, blah, blah, blah. It tells you like, these are the magnets, this is the joystick, this is the buttons, blah, blah, blah. There's a few mini games. Cool. And I presumed, like everybody, that it was just the free packing game, like Wii Sports was a packing game. Reggie persuaded them to include that game, and look how successful that was. Then at the end of the trailer, it reveals it's going to be a day one release, paid. And pricing hasn't been revealed for the UK or US yet, but it seems I think it was 10 yen-ish. So about probably looking at like £10, 10 USD. I'm sorry. That's an absolute like joke. Yeah, I am going to pay for it because I'm going to cover it on the channel. I'm going to tell everybody else then, like, paying $10 for it, maybe there is money worth in there, and I'll hold my hands up and say, look, cool, I was wrong. Sorry. Go download it. It's well worth that 10. This game should be free. I'm sorry. Like, if you agree with me, let me know in the comments, but there is no way they should be charging for this packing, and especially when it's basically, not all of it, because there is mini games, but like half of it appears to basically be an interactive instruction book for the console. Like, I'll just read the instruction book and save myself 10 quid. But yeah, so welcome to. Right now, in my opinion, you are a D. Get out of here. You suck. All right, so the last game then is Yakuza Zero. Yes, please. Day one. Yakuza I love. Been banging on about it for like 6-7 years. We finally got Yakuza Kiwami on the Switch one, which I was extremely excited for. And I actually said at the time, we've got to support it, we've got to download it, we've got to make sure this entire series comes to the Switch too. And it seems I've got my wish, because in this trailer, they also mention, they kind of hinted at the rest of the series coming to the hardware as well. So that's awesome. So yeah, Yakuza Zero, the story of Kiryu and like his origin story, shall we say, as he's getting into the Yakuza. It's a really incredible game. It was a big turning point for the series as well. If you've ever played them, basically when Yakuza Zero came out, it kind of reinvigorated the series, added all of the new mechanics from the later releases, different fighting styles, different characters. It was a really fun way to re-experience the series. It's going to be a little bit weird that we got Yakuza 1 on Switch 1. I think what's going to happen after this is we're going to quickly see an upgrade path for Yakuza 1, and then we'll jump straight into Yakuza 2. I'm hoping they mess around doing a Yakuza 1 Switch 2 build at separate cost. But just give us an upgrade path, let us do it, straight into Yakuza 2. Story is incredible, the characters are incredible. This is, like, I guess, the true starting point. Sometimes prequels don't always work because you need that kind of nostalgia with the character, like look at Star Wars. The 1, 2, and 3, the original, the first, the trilogy, the follow-ups of Darth Vader's story, you wouldn't really care because you didn't know who Darth Vader was. Yakuza Zero works still, even though you may not have that history with the character. The Kiryu is just cool as shit, basically. And it's his story, and it's his start, and I think it's a really good starting point for any new fan to the series as well. So yeah, absolutely check it out. I've played it about 5 times over the years. I'm going back. Love it. Yeah, absolutely. I am scared though now when I look at the pricing here, because if we're looking at 80, 70, 60, 60, 120, I'm going to be broke, basically, is kind of the moral of the story here. I did say there wouldn't be too much down here. Puyo Tetris 2 just doesn't make sense to me on this system. I'm going to go B tier with this, actually. Let me make that last change. I think it's a bit unfair to put it there just because I, C is saying I really just don't understand the BNL system. I get this. It's just not my style. So I think it makes better sense here. Survival Kids and Welcome Tour. No, just no. But yeah, that's my tier list. Let me know what games you're picking up day one, first of all. If you enjoyed this, we're going to be doing a monster list soon, which is going to be the remaining, I think it's 45 games that have been announced for the Switch 2. So yeah, watch out for that. We're going to be doing breakdowns of Cyberpunk. We're going to do breakdowns of Street Fighter, Yakuza, Mario Kart. Got a lot of videos planned over the next couple of weeks in the lead up to that launch of the system. And yeah, it should be a good time. So I'd appreciate the support. And yeah, again, subscribe if you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Cheers on.